because I don't want to read it wrong the whole time. Okay, we're going to start over. Alright, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Act 1, Scene 1. Location, King's Cross. A busy and crowded station, full of people trying to go somewhere. Amongst the hustle and bustle, 2 large cases rattle on top of 2 laden trolleys. They're being pushed by 2 boys, James Potter and Albus Potter. Their mother, Ginny, follows after. A 37-year-old man, Harry, has his daughter Lily on his shoulders. Albus: Dad, he keeps saying it. Harry: James, give it a rest. James: I only said he might be in Slytherin. And he might so. Off his dad's glare. Fine. Albus, looking up to his mom: You'll write me, won't you? Ginny: Every day if you want us to. Albus: No, not every day. James says most people only get letters from home about once a month. I don't want to. Harry: We wrote to your brother 3 times a week last year. Albus: What? James? Albus looks accusingly at James. Ginny: Yes, you may not want to believe everything he tells you about Hogwarts. He likes a laugh, your brother. James, with a grin: Can we go now, please? Albus looks at his dad and then his mum. Ginny: All you have to do is walk straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10. Lily: I'm so excited. Harry: Don't stop and don't be scared you'll crash into it. That's very important. Best to do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Albus: I'm ready. Harry and Lily put their hands on Albus's trolley. Ginny joins James' trolley. Together the family run hard into the barrier. Okay, so I guess Harry and Ginny now have 3 children. Act 1, Scene 2. Platform 9 3/4, which is covered in thick white steam pouring from the Hogwarts Express, and which is also busy, but instead of people in shop suits going about their day, it is now wizards and witches in robes, mostly trying to work out how to say goodbye to their beloved progeny. Albus: This is it. Lily: Wow. Albus: Platform 9 3/4. Lily: Where are they? Are they here? Maybe they didn't come. Harry points out Ron, Hermione, and their daughter Rose. Lily runs hard up to them. Uncle Ron! Uncle Ron! Ron turns towards them as Lily goes barreling up to him. He picks her up in his arms. If it isn't my favourite Potter. Lily: Have you got my trick? Ron: Are you aware the Weasley's wizard wheezes certified nose-stealing breath? Rose: Mom, Dad's going on that lame thing again. Hermione: You say lame. He says glorious. I say somewhere in between. Ron: Hang on. Let me just munch this air. And now it's just a simple matter of... Excuse me if I smell slightly of garlic. He breathes on her face. Lily giggles. You smell of porridge. Ron: Bing, bang, boing. Young lady, get ready to not be able to smell at all. He lifts her nose off. Lily: Where's my nose? Ron: Ta-da! His hand is empty. It's a lame trick. Everyone enjoys its lameness. Lily: You are silly. Albus: Everyone's staring at us again. Ron: Because of me. I'm extremely famous. My nose experiments are legendary. Hermione: There's certainly something. Harry: Parked all right then? Ron: I did. Hermione didn't believe I could pass a muggle driving test, did you? She thought I'd have to confound the examiner. Hermione: I thought nothing of the kind. I have complete faith in you. Rose: And I have complete faith he did confound the examiner. Ron: Oi! Albus: Dad? Albus pulls on Harry's robes. Harry looks down. Do you think... What if I'm put in Slytherin? Harry: And what would be wrong with that? Albus: Slytherin is the house of the snake, of dark magic. It's not a house of brave wizards. Harry: Albus Severus, you were named after 2 headmasters of Hogwarts. One of them was a Slytherin, and he was probably the bravest man I ever knew. Albus: But just say... Harry: If it matters to you, the Sorting Hat, will take your feelings into account. Albus: Really? Harry: It did for me. This is something he's never said before. It resonates around in his head a moment. Hogwarts will be the making of you, Albus. I promise you. There's nothing to be frightened of there. Really, Harry? Nothing to be frightened of? James. Apart from the Thestrals. Watch out for the Thestrals. Albus. I thought they were invisible. Harry. Listen to professors. Don't listen to James. And remember to enjoy yourself. Now, if you don't want this train to leave without you, you should leap on. Lily. I'm going to chase the train out. Ginny. Lily, come straight back. Hermione. Rose, remember to send Neville our love. Rose. Mom, I can't give a professor love. Rose exits for the train, and then Albus turns and hugs Ginny and Harry one last time before following her. Albus. Okay then, bye! He climbs on board. Hermione, Ginny, Ron, and Harry stand watching the train as whistles blow up and down the platform. Ginny. They're gonna be okay, right? Hermione. Hogwarts is a big place. Ron. Big, wonderful, full of food. I'd give anything to go back. Harry. Strange. Al being worried he'll be sorted into Slytherin. Hermione. That's nothing. Rose is worried whether she'll break the Quidditch scoring record in her first or second year and how early she can take her owls. Ron. I have no idea where she gets her ambition from. Ginny. And how would you feel, Harry, if Al is? Ron. You know, Gin, we always thought there was a chance you could be sorted into Slytherin. Ginny. What? Ron. Honestly, Fred and George ran a book. Hermione. Can we go? People are looking, you know. Ginny. People always look when you three are together and apart. People always look at you. The four exit. Ginny stops. Harry. Harry, he'll be alright, won't he? Harry. Of course he will. Act 1, Scene 3. The Hogwarts Express. Albus and Rose walk along the carriage of the train. The trolley witch approaches, pushing her trolley. Trolley witch. Anything from the trolley, dears? Pumpkin pasty, chocolate frog, cauldron cake? Rose, spotting Albus's loving look at the chocolate frogs. Al, we need to concentrate. Albus. Concentrate on what? Rose. On who we choose to be friends with. My mom and dad met your dad on the first Hogwarts Express, you know. Albus. So we need to choose now who to be friends with for life? That's quite scary. Rose. On the contrary, it's exciting. I'm a Granger Weasley. You're a Potter. Everyone will want to be friends with us. We've got the pick of anyone we want. Albus. So how do we decide which compartment to go in? Rose. We rate all of them, and then we make a decision. Albus opens a door to look in on a lonely blonde kid, Scorpius, in an otherwise empty compartment. Albus smiles. Scorpius smiles back. Hi, is this compartment? It's free. It's just me. Albus. Great. So we might just come in for a bit. Is that okay? That's okay. Hi. Albus. Albus. Al. My name is Albus. Scorpius. Hi, Scorpius. I'm Scorpius. You're Albus. I'm Scorpius, and you must be... Rose's face is growing colder by the moment. Rose. Scorpius. Hi, Rose. Would you like some of my fizzing Whizbees? Rose. I've just had breakfast, thanks. Scorpius. I've also got some Shocker Choc pepper imps and some jelly shugs. Mom's idea, she says. Sings. Sweets, they always help you make friends. He realizes singing was a mistake. Stupid idea, probably. Albus. I'll have some. Mom doesn't let me have sweets. Which one would you start with? Rose hits Albus out of sight of Scorpius. Scorpius. Easy. I've always regarded the pepper imp as the king of the confectionery bag. Their peppermint sweets will make you smoke at the ears. Albus. Brilliant. That's what I'll have. Rose, will you please stop hitting me? Rose. I'm not hitting you. Albus. You are hitting me and it hurts. Scorpius's face falls. Scorpius. She's hitting you because of me. Albus, what? Scorpius, listen, I know who you are, so it's probably only fair that you know who I am. Albus, what do you mean you know who I am? Scorpius, you're Albus Potter. She's Rose Granger Weasley, and I'm Scorpius Malfoy. My parents are Astoria and Draco Malfoy. Our parents, they didn't get on. Rose, that's putting it mildly. Your mom and dad are Death Eaters. Scorpius, affronted. Dad was, but Mom wasn't. Rose looks away, and Scorpius knows why she does. I know what the rumor is, and it's a lie. Albus looks from an uncomfortable Rose to a desperate Scorpius. Albus, what is the rumor? Scorpius, the rumor is that my parents couldn't have children, that my father and my grandfather were so desperate for a powerful heir to prevent the end of the Malfoy line that they used a time turner to send my mother back. Albus, to send her back where? Rose, the rumor is that he's Voldemort's son. Albus, a horrible, uncomfortable silence. It's probably rubbish. I mean, look, you've got a nose. The tension is slightly broken. Scorpius laughs, pathetically grateful. And it's just like my father's. I got his nose, his hair, and his name. Not that that's a great thing either. I mean, father-son issues. I have them. But on the whole, I'd rather be a Malfoy than, the son of the Dark Lord. Scorpius and Albus look at each other and something passes between them. Rose. Yes, well, we probably should sit somewhere else. Come on, Albus. Albus is thinking deeply. Albus. No. Off Rose's look. I'm okay. You go on. Rose. Albus, I won't wait. Albus. And I wouldn't expect you to, but I'm staying here. Rose looks at him a second and then leaves the compartment. Rose. Fine. Scorpius and Albus are left looking at each other. Unsure. Scorpius. Thank you. Albus. No, I didn't stay for you. I stayed for your sweets. Scorpius. She's quite fierce. Albus. Yes, sorry. Scorpius. No, I like it. Do you prefer Albus or Al? Scorpius grins and pops 2 sweets into his mouth. Albus thinks. Albus. Scorpius, as smoke comes out of his ears. Thank you for staying for my sweets, Albus! Albus, laughing. Wow. Act 1, Scene 4, Transition Scene. And now we enter another world of time change. And the scene is all about magic. The changes are rapid as we leap between worlds. There are no individual scenes, but fragments, shards that show the constant progression of time. Initially, we're inside Hogwarts, in the Great Hall, and everyone is dancing around. Polly Chapman. Albus Potter! Carl Jenkins. A Potter in our year. Jan Fredericks. He's got his hair just like him. Rose. And he's my cousin. As they turn, Rose Granger Weasley. Nice to meet you. The Sorting Hat walks through the students who spring into their houses. It becomes quickly apparent he's approaching Rose, who's tense as she awaits her fate. Sorting Hat. I've done this job for centuries. On every student's head I've sat. Of thoughts I take inventories, for I'm the famous Sorting Hat. I've sorted high, I've sorted low, I've done the job through thick and thin. So put me on you, you will know which house you should be in. Rose Granger Weasley. He put his hat on Rose's head. Gryffindor! There's cheering from the Gryffindors as Rose joins them. Rose. Thank Dumbledore. That's awesome. That's the phrase. Thank Dumbledore. That's great. Scorpius runs to Rose's place under the Sorting Hat's glare. Sorting Hat. Scorpius Malfoy. He put his hat on Scorpius' head. Slytherin! Scorpius was expecting this. He nods and half smiles. There's cheering from the Slytherins as he joins them. Polly Chapman. Well, that makes sense. Albus walks swiftly to the front of the stage. Sorting Hat. Albus Potter. He puts his hat on Albus's head. And this time he seems to take longer, almost if he too is confused. Slytherin! There's a silence, a perfect, profound silence. One that sits low, twists a bit, and has damage within it. Polly Chapman. Slytherin? Craig Barker Jr. Whoa, a Potter. In Slytherin? Albus looks out, unsure. Scorpius smiles, delighted, as he shouts across to him, "You can stand next to me!" Albus, thoroughly discombobulated. Right, yes. Jan Fredericks. I suppose his hair isn't that similar. Rose. Albus, but this is wrong. Albus, this is not how it's supposed to be. And suddenly, a flying lesson is happening with Madam Hooch. Madam Hooch. Well, what are you waiting for? Everyone, stand by a broomstick. Come on, hurry up. The kids all hurry into position beside the brooms. Stick out your hands out over your broom and say, up. Everyone, up. Rose and Jan's brooms sail into their hands. Rose and Jan. Yes. Madam Hooch. Come on now. I've got no time for shirkers. Say up, like you mean it. Everyone, up. Brooms sail up, including Scorpius's. Only Albus is left with his broom on the floor. Everyone, yes. Albus, up. His broom doesn't move, not even a millimeter. He stares at it with disbelieving desperation. There's giggling from the rest of the class. Polly Chapman. Oh, Merlin's beard, how humiliating. He really isn't like his father at all, is he? Carl Jenkins. Albus Potter, the Slytherin squib. Madam Hooch. Okay, children, time to fly. And suddenly, Harry appears from nowhere beside Albus as steam expands all over the stage. We're back on platform 9 3/4, and time has ticked on mercilessly. Albus is now a year older, as is Harry, but less noticeably. Albus. I'm just asking you, Dad, if you just stand a little away from me. Harry amused. Second years don't like to be seen with the dads, is that it? An over-attentive wizard begins to circle them. Albus. No, it's just you're you, and I'm me, and Harry. It's just people looking, okay? People look, and they're looking at me, not you. The over-attentive wizard proffers something for Harry to sign, and he signs it. Albus, at Harry Potter and his disappointing son. Harry, what does that mean? Albus, at Harry Potter and his disappointing Slytherin son. James rushes past them carrying his bag. James, Slytherin, stop with your dithering. Time to get on the train. Harry, unnecessary, James. James, long gone. See you at Christmas, Dad. Harry looks at Albus concerned. Harry, Al. Albus, my name is Albus, not Al. Harry, are the other kids being unkind? Is that it? Maybe if you tried making a few more friends. Without Hermione and Ron, I wouldn't have survived Hogwarts. I wouldn't have survived it at all. Albus, but I don't need a Ron and Hermione. I've got a friend, Scorpius, and I know you don't like him, but he's all I need. Harry, look, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters to me. Albus, you didn't need to bring me to the station, Dad. Albus picks up his case and makes a harder way. Harry, but I wanted to be here. But Albus is gone. Draco Malfoy, his robes perfect, his blonde ponytail precisely placed, emerges from within the crowds to be beside Harry. Draco, I need a favor. Harry, Draco? Draco, these rumors about my son's parentage, they don't seem to be going away. The other Hogwarts students tease Scorpius about it relentlessly. If the Ministry could release a statement reaffirming that all Time Turners were destroyed in the Battle of the Department of Mysteries. Harry, Draco, just let it blow over. They'll soon move on. Draco, my son is suffering, and Astoria hasn't been well recently, so he needs all the support he can get. Harry, if you answer the gossip, you feed the gossip. They've been rumors. Voldemort has had a child for years. Scorpius is not the first to be accused. The Ministry, for your sake, as well as ours, needs to steer well clear. Draco frowns, annoyed. as the stage clears and Rose and Albus stand ready with their cases. Albus: as soon as the train leaves, you don't have to talk to me. Rose: I know. We just need to keep up the pretense in front of the grown-ups. Scorpius runs on, with big hopes and an even bigger case. Hi, Rose! Rose definitive. Bye, Albus. Scorpius still hopeful. She's melting! And suddenly we're in the Great Hall, and Professor McGonagall is standing at the front with a big smile on her face. Professor McGonagall: and I'm pleased to announce Gryffindor's newest member of the Quidditch team. She realized she can't be partial. Your superb new chaser, Rose Granger Weasley. The hall erupts into cheers. Scorpius claps alongside them all. Albus: are you clapping her too? We hate Quidditch and she's playing for another house. Scorpius: she's your cousin, Albus. Albus: do you think she'd clap for me? Scorpius: I think she's brilliant. The students circle. Albus again, as suddenly a potions class begins. Polly Chapman: Albus Potter, an irrelevance. Even portraits turn the other way when he comes up the stairs. Albus hunches over a potion. Albus: and now we add, is it Horn of Bicorn? Carl Jenkins: leave him and Voldemort's child to it, I say. Albus: with just a little salamander blood? The potion explodes loudly. Scorpius: okay, what's the counter ingredient? What do we need to change? Albus: everything. And with that, time moves ever onwards. Albus's eyes become darker, his face grows more sallow. He's still an attractive boy, but he's trying not to admit it. And suddenly he's back on platform 9 3/4 with his dad, who is still trying to persuade his son. Persuade his son and himself that everything is okay. Both have aged another year. Third year. Big year. Here's your permission form for Hogsmeade. Albus: I hate Hogsmeade. Harry: how can you hate a place you haven't actually visited yet? Albus: because I know it'll be full of Hogwarts students. Albus screws at the paper. Harry: just give it a go. Come on, this is your chance to go nuts in Honeydukes without your mom knowing. No, Albus, don't you dare. Albus, pointing his wand. Incendio! The ball of paper bursts into flame and ascends across the stage. Harry: of all the stupid things. Albus: the ironic thing is I didn't expect it to work. I'm terrible at that spell. Harry: Albus, I've been exchanging owls with Professor McGonagall. She says you're isolating yourself. You're uncooperative in lessons. You're surly. You're... Albus: so what would you like me to do? Magic myself popular? Conjure myself into a new house? Transfigure myself into a better student? Just cast a spell? Just cast a spell, Dad, and change me into what you want me to be, okay? It'll work better for the both of us. Got to go. Train to catch. Friend to find. Albus runs to Scorpius, who is sitting on his case, numb to the world. Delighted. Scorpius! Concerned. Scorpius, are you okay? Scorpius says nothing. Albus tries to read his friend's eyes. Your mom? It's got worse? It's got the worst it can possibly get. Albus sits down beside Scorpius. Albus: I thought you'd send an owl. Scorpius: I couldn't work out what to say. Albus: now I don't know what to say. Scorpius: say nothing. Albus: is there anything? Scorpius: come to the funeral. Albus: of course. Scorpius: and be my good friend. And suddenly the Sorting Hat is sent to stage and we're back in the Great Hall. Sorting Hat: are you afraid of what you'll hear? Afraid I'll speak the name you fear? Not Slytherin, not Gryffindor, not Hufflepuff, not Ravenclaw. Don't worry, child, I know my job. You'll learn to laugh if you first sob. Lily Potter, Gryffindor! Lily: yes! Albus: great. Scorpius: did you really think she'd come to Slytherin? Potters don't belong in Slytherin. Albus: this one does. As he tries to melt into the background, the other students laugh. He looks up at them. I didn't choose, you know that? I didn't choose to be his son. Act 1, Scene 5. Ministry of Magic, Harry's office. Hermione sits down with piles of paper in front of her. In Harry's messy office, she is slowly sorting through it all. Harry enters in a rush. He is bleeding from a graze on his cheek. Hermione. How did it go? Harry. It was true. Hermione. Theodore not. Harry. In custody. Hermione. And the time turner itself? Harry reveals the time turner. It shines out alluringly. Is it genuine? Does it work? It's not just an hour reversal turner. It goes back further? Harry. We don't know anything yet. I wanted to try it out there. And then, but wiser heads prevailed. Hermione. Well, now we have it. Harry. And you're sure you want to keep it? Hermione. I don't think we've got a choice. Look at it. It's entirely different to the time turner I had. Harry. Apparently wizardry has moved on since we were kids. Hermione. You're bleeding. Harry checks his face in the mirror. He dabs at the wound with his robes. Don't worry, it'll go with the scar. Harry, with a grin. What you doing in my office, Hermione? Hermione. I was anxious to hear about Theodore Knott. Thought I'd check on whether you kept your promise and were on top of your paperwork. Ah. Turns out not. Hermione. No, you're not. Harry, how can you get any work done in this chaos? Harry waves his wand and the papers and books transform into neat piles. Harry smiles. No longer chaotic, Hermione, but still ignored. You know, there's some interesting stuff in here. There are mountain trolls riding grape horns through Hungary. There are giants with winged tattoos on their backs walking through the Greek seas. And werewolves have gone entirely underground. Harry, great! Let's get out there. I'll get the team together. Hermione. Harry, I get it. Paperwork's boring. Harry, not for you. Hermione. I'm busy enough with my own. These are people and the beasts that fought alongside Voldemort in the Great Wizarding Wars. These are allies of darkness. This combined with what we've just unearthed at Theodore Knott's could mean something. But if the head of magical law enforcement isn't reading his files... Harry. But I don't need to read it. I'm out there, hearing about it. Theodore Knott. It was me who heard the rumors about the time turner, and me who acted upon it. You really don't need to tell me off. Hermione looks at Harry. This is tricky. Hermione. Do you fancy toffee? Don't tell Ron. Harry. You're changing the subject. Hermione. I truly am. Toffee? Harry. Can't. We're off sugar at the moment. You know, you can get addicted to that stuff. Hermione. What can I say? My parents were dentists. I was bound to rebel at some point. 40 is leaving it a little late, but you've just done a brilliant thing. You're certainly not being told off. I just need you to look at your paperwork every now and again, that's all. Consider this as a gentle nudge from the Minister for Magic. Harry nods, hearing her implication in her emphasis. How's Ginny? How's Albus? Harry. It seems I'm as good at fatherhood as I am at paperwork. How's Rose? How's Hugo? Hermione with a grin. You know, Ron says he thinks I see more of my secretary Ethel, she indicates off, than him. Do you think there's a point where we made a choice, Parent of the Year or Ministry Official of the Year? Go on. Go home to your family. Harry, the Hogwarts Express is about to depart for another year. Enjoy the time you've got left, and then come back here with a fresh head and get these files read. Harry, you really think this could all mean something? Hermione with a smile. It could do. But if it does, we'll find a way to fight it, Harry. We always have. She smiles once more, pops a toffee in her mouth, and leaves the office. Harry's left alone. He packs his bag. He walks out of the office and down a corridor. The weight of the world is upon his shoulders. He walks tired into a telephone box. He dials 62442. Telephone box. Farewell, Harry Potter. He ascends away from the Ministry of Magic. Act 1, Scene 6. Harry and Ginny, Potter's house. Albus can't sleep. He is sitting at the top of the stairs. He hears voices below him. We hear Harry's voice before he's revealed. An elderly man in a wheelchair is with him. Amos Diggory. Harry. Amos, I understand, I really do, but I'm only just home and... Amos. I've tried to make appointments at the ministry. They say, Mr. Diggory, we have an appointment for you. Let's see, in 2 months. I wait very patiently. Harry. And coming to my house in the middle of the night when my kids are just getting ready for the new year at school. It's not right. Amos. 2 months pass. I receive an owl. Mr. Diggory, I'm awfully sorry, but Mr. Potter has been called away on urgent business. We're going to have to shift things around a little. Are you available for an appointment in, let's see, 2 months' time? And then he repeats it again and again. You're just shutting me out. Harry. Of course I'm not. It's just, I'm afraid, as head of Department of Magical Law Enforcement, I'm afraid I'm responsible. There's plenty you're responsible for. Sorry? My son, Cedric. You do remember Cedric, don't you? Harry, remembering Cedric, hurts him. Yes, I remember your son. His loss. Amos. Voldemort wanted you, not my son. You told me yourself. The words he said were kill the spare. Kill my son. Mr. Diggory, as you know, I sympathize with your efforts to memorize Cedric, but a memorial. I'm not interested in memorial, not anymore. I'm an old man, an old dying man, and I'm here to ask you, beg you, to help me get him back. Harry looks up astonished. Get him back? Amos, that's not possible. Amos. The Ministry has a time turner, does it not? Harry. The time turners were all destroyed. Amos. The reason I'm here with such urgency is I've just heard a rumor, strong rumor. The Ministry seized an illegal time turner from Theodore Knott and has kept it out for investigation. Let me use that time turner. Let me have my son back. There's a long, deadly pause. Harry is finding this extremely difficult. We watch as Albus moves closer, listening. Amos, playing with time. You know we can't do that. How many people have died for the boy who lived? I'm asking you to save one of them. This hurts Harry. He thinks. His face hardens. Harry. Whatever you've heard, the Theodore Knott story is a fiction, Amos. I'm sorry. Delphi. Hello. Albus jumps a mile as Delphi, a 20-something, determined-looking woman, is revealed, looking through the stairs at him. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to startle. I used to be a big stair listener myself, sitting there, waiting for someone to say something the tiniest bit interesting. Albus. Who are you? Because this is sort of my house, and... Delphi. I'm a thief, of course. I'm about to steal everything you own. Give me your gold, your wand, your chocolate frogs. She looks fierce and then smiles. Either that or I'm Delphine Diggory. She ascends the stairs and sticks out a hand. Delphi. I look after him. Amos. Will I try? She indicates Amos. And you are? Albus, rueful grin. Albus. Delphi. Of course, Albus Potter. So Harry is your dad. That's a bit wow, isn't it? Albus. Not really. Delphi. Have I just put my foot in it? It's what they used to say about me at school. Delphine Diggory. There isn't a hole she couldn't dig herself into. Albus. They do all sorts with my name, too. Pause. She looks at him carefully. Amos. Delphi. She makes her depart and then hesitates. She smiles at Albus. Delphi. We don't choose who we're related to, Amos. Amos isn't just my patient. He's my uncle. It's part of the reason I took the job at Upper Flagelley. But that's made it difficult. It's tough to live with people stuck in the past, isn't it? Amos. Delphi. Albus. Upper Flagelley? Delphi. St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. Come see us sometime if you like. Amos. Delphi! She smiles, then trips as she travels down the stairs. She enters the room with Amos and Harry in it. Albus watches her. Delphi. Yes, uncle? Amos. Meet the once great Harry Potter, now stone-cold Ministry man. I'll leave you in peace, sir, if peace is the right word for it. Delphi, my chair. Delphi. Yes, uncle. Amos is pushed out of the room. Harry's left looking forlorn. Albus watches on, thinking carefully. Oh, how hard! Amos Diggory still hasn't gotten over his son's death. I mean, obviously it's something you never get over totally, but to just keep on trying to hope that you can bring him back, that's not healthy. kind of agree with Harry that he shouldn't just bring him back, but at the same time, they did use the time turner to save Sirius and a Griffith. Griffith? Was it a Griffith? No, a hippogriff. If a hippogriff can be saved with a time turner, why can't they save Cedric? But it's been a very long time, and it does involve going back to face Voldemort, so that might not be the smartest thing. Alright, should we continue? Act 1, Scene 7. Harry and Ginny, Potter's house, Albus's room. Albus is sitting on the bed as the world goes on outside his door. Still against the constant motion outside, we hear a roar from James. Ginny. James, please, ignore your hair and tidy that darn room. James. How can I ignore it? It's pink. I'm gonna have to use my invisibility cloak. James appears at the door. He has pink hair. Ginny. That's not why your dad gave you that cloak. Gave his son the cloak? Wow. That's a big thing to give a kid. I mean, you got it when you were a kid, but you also were kind of facing the Dark Lord. What is your kid facing? Puberty? Come on. Lily. Who's seen my potions book? Jenny. Lily Potter, don't you think you're wearing those to school tomorrow? Lily appears at Albus's door. She's wearing fairy wings that flutter. Lily. I love them, the fluttering. She exits as Harry appears in Albus's doorway. He looks through. Harry. Hi. There's an awkward pause between them. Ginny appears in the doorway. She sees what's happening. She stays a moment. Just delivering a pre-Hogwarts gift. Gifts. Ron sent this, Albus. Okay, a love potion. Okay. Harry. I think it's a joke about, I don't know what. Lily's got farting gnomes. James got a comb that made his hair turn a shade of pink. Ron's Ron, you know? Harry put down Albus's love potion on his bed. This is for me. He reveals a small blanket. Ginny looks at it. She sees Harry is trying, and then she softly walks away. An old blanket. I thought a lot about what to give you this year, James. Albus. James has been going on about the invisibility cloak since time itself, and Lily, I knew she'd love wings, but you're 14 years old now, Albus, and I wanted to give you something which meant something. This is the last thing I had from my mom, the only thing. I was given to the Dursleys wrapped in it. I thought it had gone forever, and then when your great Aunt Petunia died, hidden amongst her possessions. Oh, Petunia's dead. That's kind of sad. Hidden amongst her possessions, surprisingly, Dudley found this, and he kindly sent it to me, and ever since then, well, anytime I've wanted luck, I've found it and just tried to hold it, and wondered if you wanted to hold it too. Okay, done. Let's hope it brings me luck. Certainly need some. He touches the blanket. But you should keep it. Harry, I believe Petunia wanted me to have it, and that's why she kept it. And now I want you to have it from me. I didn't really know my mother, but I think she would have wanted you to have it too. And maybe I could come find you and it on Hallows Eve. I'd like to be with it on the night they died, and that could be really good for the two of us. Albus, listen, I've got quite a lot of packing to do, and you undoubtedly have ministry work coming out of your ears, so... Harry, Albus, I want you to have the blanket. Albus, and do what with it? Fairy wings make sense, Dad. Invisibility cloaks, they also make sense, but this, really... Come on, Albus! You're 14! Okay, I guess you're 14, so you're still a jerk. Don't just do that when someone gives you a sentimental gift. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a rock. You accept it graciously. Come on, Albus. Harry is slightly heartbroken, as he should be. This kid is a little jerk. He looks at his son, desperate to reach out. Harry, do you want a hand? packing. I always loved packing. It meant I was leaving Privet Drive and going back to Hogwarts, which was, well, I know you don't love it, but this is so sad. You know, kids, they just grow up spoiled. Parents, you know, they go through hard times and then they get a little bit of, you know, wealth and they get a house and they make a better life for the kids, but at what cost? Kids don't appreciate it. This kid doesn't even like Hogwarts. The best place! Anyone would want to take his place. He doesn't even appreciate it. Even Voldemort appreciated Hogwarts. He took it a little too far and tried to take over the whole world and kill everybody, but he appreciated it. Come on. Albus. For you, it's the greatest place on earth, I know. A poor orphan, bullied by his uncle and Aunt Dursley. Oh my god, this kid! Seriously. Oh my Lanta. This kid is not being very nice. So sad. Harry. Albus, please. Can we just... Albus, traumatized by his cousin Dudley. Saved by Hogwarts. I know it all, Dad. Blah, blah, blah. Harry. I'm not gonna rise to your bait, Albus Potter. Albus. The poor orphan who went on to save us all. So may I say, on behalf of all wizarding kind, how grateful we are for your heroism. Should we bow now, or will a curtsy do? Harry. Albus, please. You know I've never wanted gratitude. Albus. But right now, I'm overflowing with it. It must be the kind of gift of this moldy blanket that did it. Harry. Moldy blanket. Albus. What did you think would happen? We'd hug? I'd tell you I'd always loved you? What? What? Harry, finally losing his temper. You know what? I'm done with being made responsible for your unhappiness. At least you've got a dad, because I didn't, okay? Albus. And you think that was unlucky? I don't. Harry, you wish me dead. Albus. No, I just wish you weren't my dad. Harry, seeing red. Well, there are times I wish you weren't my son. There's a silence. Albus nods. Pause. Harry realizes what he'd said. Ooh, shoot, Harry. That kid was being a brat, for sure, but you don't say that as a parent. No, no. That's rough. Time turner? Maybe? Time turner, anyone? No, I didn't mean that. Albus. Yes, you did. Harry. Albus, you just know how to get under my skin. Albus. You meant it, Dad. And honestly, I don't blame you. There's a horrible pause. You should probably leave me alone now. Harry. Albus, please. Albus picks up the blanket and throws it. It collides with Ron's love potion, which spills all over the blanket and the bed, producing a small puff of smoke. No luck or love for me, then. Albus runs out of the room. Harry goes after him. Harry. Albus! Albus, please! Wow. This is so sad. This is definitely much darker and sadder than the Harry Potter stories. Act 1, Scene 8. Dream Hut on the Rock. There's a large boom, then there's a large crash. Dudley Dursley, Aunt Petunia, and Uncle Vernon are cowering behind a bed. Dudley Dursley. Mom, I don't like this. Aunt Petunia. I knew we made a mistake coming here, Uncle Vernon. Vernon. Vernon, there's nowhere we can hide. Not even a lighthouse is far enough away. There's another large boom. Uncle Vernon. Hold on. Whatever it is, it's not coming in here. Aunt Petunia. We're cursed. He's cursed us. The boy has cursed us. Seeing young Harry. This is all your fault. Get back in your hole. Young Harry flinches away as Uncle Vernon holds out his rifle. Uncle Vernon. Whoever's there, I should warn you, I'm armed. There's a massive smash and the door falls off its hinges. Hagrid stands in the middle of the doorway. He looks at them all. Hagrid. Couldn't make us a cup of tea, could you? It's not been an easy journey. Dudley Dursley. Look at him! Uncle Vernon. Stand back! Stand back! Behind me, Petunia. Behind me, Dudley. I'll soon see this Scaramounger off. Hagrid. Scar what? He picks up Uncle Vernon's gun. Haven't seen one of these a while. He twists the end of the gun and ties it in a knot. Oops, a daisy? And then he gets distracted. He's seeing young Harry. Harry Potter! Young Harry. Hello. Hagrid. Last time I saw you, you was a baby. You look a lot like your dad, but you've got your mom's eyes. Young Harry. You knew my parents. Hagrid. Oh, where's me manners? Very happy birthday to you. Got something here for you. Might have sat on it at some point, but it'll taste alright. From inside his coat, he pulls a slightly squashed chocolate cake with Happy Birthday Harry written in green icing. Young Harry. Who are you? Hagrid laughing. Oh, true. I haven't introduced myself. Ruby is Hagrid, keeper keys and grounds of Hogwarts. He looks around at himself. What about tea then, eh? I'd not to stay to summit stronger if you got in mind. Young Harry. Hog where? Hagrid. Hogwarts! You'll know all about Hogwarts, of course. Hagrid. Sorry. Young Harry. No, sorry. Hagrid. Sorry? It's them who should be sorry. I knew you weren't getting your letters, but I never thought you wouldn't have known about Hogwarts for crying out loud. Do you never wonder where your parents learnt it all? Young Harry. Learned what? Hagrid turns menacingly towards Uncle Vernon. Do you mean to tell me that this boy knows nothing about anything? Uncle Vernon. I forbid you to tell the boy anything more. Young Harry. Tell me what? Hagrid looks at Uncle Vernon and then at young Harry. Hagrid. Harry, you're a wizard. You changed everything. You're the most famous wizard in the whole world. And then right from the back of the room, whispering around everyone, words said with an unmistakable voice, the voice of Voldemort. Harry Potter. Act 1, Scene 9. Harry and Ginny, Potter's house, bedroom. Harry wakes suddenly, breathing deeply in the night. He waits a moment, calming himself, and then he feels intense pain in his forehead, in his scar. Around him, dark magic moves. Ginny. Harry. Harry. It's fine. Go back to sleep. Ginny. Lumos. The room is filled with the light from her wand. Harry looks at her. A nightmare. Harry. Yes. Ginny. About what? Harry. The Dursleys. Well, it started there, then it became something else. Pause. Ginny looks at him, trying to work out where he is. Ginny. Do you want a sleeping draught? Harry. No, I'll be fine. Go back to sleep. Ginny. You don't seem fine. Harry says nothing. Seeing his agitation. It can't have been easy with Amos Diggory. Harry. The anger I can cope with. The fact that he's right is harder. Amos lost his son because of me. Ginny. That doesn't seem particularly fair on yourself. Harry. And there's nothing I can say. Nothing I can say to anyone, unless it's the wrong thing, of course. Ginny knows what, or rather, who he's referring to. Ginny. So that's what's upsetting you. The night before Hogwarts, it's never a good night, if you don't want to go. Giving Al the blanket, it was a nice try. Harry, it went pretty badly wrong from there. I said some things, Ginny. Ginny, I heard. Harry, and you're still talking to me. Ginny, because I know that when the time is right, you'll say sorry. That you didn't mean it, and that what you said concealed other things. You can be honest with him, Harry. That's all he needs. Harry, I just wish he was more like James or Lily. Ginny, yeah, maybe don't be that honest. Harry, no, I wouldn't change a thing about him, but I can understand them, and... Ginny, Albus is different, and isn't that a good thing? And he can tell, you know, when you're putting on your Harry Potter front. He wants to see the real you. Harry, truth is a beautiful and terrible thing, and should therefore be treated with great caution. Ginny looks at him surprised. Dumbledore. Ginny, a strange thing to say to a child. Harry, not when you believe that child will have to die to save the world. Harry gasps again and does all he can not to touch his forehead. Ginny, Harry, what's wrong? Harry, fine, I'm fine, I hear you, I'll try to be... Ginny, does your scar hurt? Harry, no, I'm fine. Now, Knox. That, and let's get some sleep. Ginny. Harry, how long has it been since your scar hurt? Harry turns to Ginny. His face says it all. Harry, 22 years. Act 1, Scene 10, The Hogwarts Express. Albus walks quickly along the train. Rose. Albus, I've been looking for you. Albus. Me? Why? Rose isn't sure how to phrase what she has to say. Rose. Albus, it's the start of 4th year, and so the start of a new year for us. I want to be friends again. Albus. We were never friends. Rose. That's harsh. You were my best friend when I was 6. Albus. That was a long time ago. He makes to walk away. She pulls him into an empty compartment. Rose. Have you heard the rumors? Big ministry raid a few days ago. Your dad apparently was incredibly brave. Albus. How do you always know about these things and I don't? Rose. Apparently he, the wizard they raided, Theodore Knott, I think, had all sorts of artifacts that broke all sorts of laws, including, and this has got to be them all gooey, an illegal time turner, and quite a superior one at that. Albus looks at Rose, everything falling into place. Albus. A time turner? Dad found a time turner. Rose. Shh, yes, I know. Great, right? Albus. You're sure? Rose. Entirely. Albus. Now I have to find Scorpius. He walks down the train. Rose follows, still determined to say her piece. Rose. Albus! Albus turns decisively. Albus. Who's told you that you have to talk to me? Rose, sprung. Okay, maybe your mom owled my dad, but only because she's worried about you. And I just think... Albus. Leave me alone, Rose. Scorpius is sitting in his usual compartment. Albus enters first, Rose still tailing him. Scorpius. Albus! Oh, hello, Rose. What do you smell of? Rose. What do I smell of? Scorpius. No, I meant it as a nice thing. You smell like a mixture of fresh flowers and fresh bread. Rose. Albus, I'm here, okay, if you need me. Scorpius. I mean nice bread. Good bread. Bread. What's wrong with bread? Rose walks away, shaking her head. Rose. What's wrong with bread? Albus. I've been looking for you everywhere. Scorpius. And now you found me. Ta-da! I was hardly hiding. You know how I like to get on early. Stops people staring, shouting, writing Santa Voldemort on my trunk. That one never gets old. She really doesn't like me, does she? Albus hugs his friend with fierceness. They hold for a beat. Scorpius is surprised by this. Okay, hello. Have we hugged before? Do we hug? The two boys awkwardly dislocate. Albus. Just a slightly weird 24 hours. Scorpius. What's happened then? Albus. I'll explain later. We've got to get off this train. There's a sound of whistles from off. The train starts moving. Scorpius. Too late. The train is moving. Hogwarts ahoy! Albus. Then we have to get off a moving train. Trolley witch. Anything from the trolleys, dears? Albus opens a window and makes it climb out. Scorpius. A moving magical train? Trolley witch. Pumpkin pasty, cauldron cake? Scorpius. Albus Severus Potter. Get that strange look out of your eye. Albus. First question. What do you know about the Triwizard Tournament? Scorpius. Happy. Ooh, a quiz! 3 schools pick 3 champions to compete in tasks for 1 cup. What's that got to do with anything? Albus. You really are an enormous geek, you know that? Scorpius. Yeah. Albus. Second question. Why has the Triwizard Tournament not been run in over 20 years? Scorpius. The last competition included your dad and a boy called Cedric Diggory. They decided to win together, but the cup was a portkey, and they were transported to Voldemort. Cedric was killed. They cancelled the competition immediately after. Albus. Good. Third question. Did Cedric need to be killed? Easy question. Easy answer. No. The words Voldemort said were, kill the Spare. The Spare. He died only because he was with my father, and my father couldn't save him. We can. A mistake has been made, and we're going to right it. We're going to use a time turner. We're going to bring him back. Scorpius. Albus, for obvious reasons, I'm not a massive fan of time turners. Albus. When Amos Diggory asked for the time time turner. My father denied they even existed. He lied to an old man who just wanted his son back, who just loved his son. And he did it because he didn't care. Because he doesn't care. Everyone talks about all the brave things Dad did, but he made some mistakes too. Some big mistakes. In fact, I want to set one of those mistakes right. I want to save Cedric. Scorpius. Okay, whatever was holding your brain together seems to have snapped. Albus. I'm going to do this, Scorpius. I need to do this. And you know as well as I do, I'll entirely mess up if you don't come with me. Come on. He grins and then disappears ever up. Scorpius hesitates for a moment. He makes a face and then hoists himself up and disappears after Albus. Act 1, Scene 11. The wind whistles from all angles, and it's a fierce wind at that. Scorpius. Okay, now we're on the roof of a train. It's fast, it's scary. This has been great. I feel like I've learned a lot about me, something about you, but... Albus. As I calculate it, we should be approaching the viaduct soon, and then it'll be a short hike to St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. Scorpius. The what? The where? Look, I'm as excited as you are to be a rebel for the first time in my life. Yay! Train roof, fun! But now... Oh. Scorpius sees something he doesn't want to see. Albus. The water will be an extremely useful backup if our cushioning charm doesn't work. Scorpius. Albus. The trolley witch. You want a snack for the journey? Scorpius. No, Albus, the trolley witch is coming towards us. Albus. No, she can't be. We're on top of the train. Scorpius points Albus in the right direction, and now he can see the trolley witch, who approaches nonchalantly, pushing a trolley. Trolley wish. Anything from the trolley, dears? Pumpkin pasty, chocolate frog, cauldron cake. Albus. Oh. Trolley witch. People don't know much about me. They buy me cauldron cakes, but they never really notice me. I don't remember the last time someone asked my name. Albus. What is your name? Trolley witch. I've forgotten. All I can tell you is that when the Hogwarts Express first came to be, Ottiline Gamble herself offered me this job. Scorpius. That's 190 years. You've been doing this job for 190 years? Trolley witch. These hands have made over 6 million pumpkin pasties. I've got quite good at them. But what people haven't noticed about my pumpkin pasties is how easily they transform into something else. She picks up a pumpkin pasty. She throws it like a grenade. It explodes. And you won't believe what I can do with my chocolate frogs. Never, never have I let anyone off this train before they reach their destination. Some have tried. Sirius Black and its cronies, Fred and George Weasley, all have failed. Because this train, it doesn't like people getting off it. The trolley witch's hands transfigure into very sharp spikes. She smiles. So please, retake your seats for the remainder of the journey. Albus. You were right, Scorpius. This train is magical. Scorpius. At this precise moment in time, I take no pleasure in being right. Albus. But I also was right about the viaduct. That's the water down there. Time to try the cushioning charm. Albus. This is a bad idea. Albus. Is it? He has a moment's hesitation, then realizes the time for hesitation has passed. Too late. 3, 2, 1, Molaire! He incants as he jumps. Scorpius. Albus! Albus! He looks down desperately after his friend. He looks at the approaching trolley witch, her hair wild, her spikes particularly spiky. Well, as fun as you clearly look, I have to go after my friend. He pinches his nose. He jumps after Albus, incanting as he goes, Molaire! Act 1, Scene 12. Ministry of Magic, Grand Meeting Room. The stage is flooded with wizards and witches. They rattle and chatter like all true wizards and witches can. Amongst them, Ginny, Draco, and Ron. Above them, on a stage, Hermione and Harry. Hermione. Order! Order! Do I have to conjure silence? She pulls silence from the crowd using her wand. Good. Welcome to this extraordinary general meeting. I'm so pleased so many of you could make it. The wizarding world has been living in peace now for many years. It's 22 years since we defeated Voldemort at the Battle of Hogwarts, and I'm delighted to say there's a new generation being brought up having known only the slightest conflict. Until now. Harry? Harry. Voldemort's allies have been showing movement for a few months now. We followed trolls making their way across Europe, giants starting to cross the seas, and werewolves, well, I'm distressed to say we lost sight of them some weeks ago. We don't know where they're going or who's encouraged them to move, but we are aware they are moving, and we're concerned what it might mean. So we're asking if anyone has seen anything, felt anything. If you could raise a wand, we will hear everyone speak. Professor McGonagall, thank you. Professor McGonagall. It did look like the potion stores had been interfered with when we returned from summer break, but not a huge amount of ingredients were missing. Some bloom slang skin, lace wing flies, nothing on the restricted register. We put it down to Peeves. Hermione. Thank you, Professor. We shall investigate. She looks around the room. Nobody else? Fine. And gravest of all, and this hasn't been the case since Voldemort. Harry's scar is hurting again. Draco. Voldemort is dead. Voldemort is gone. Hermione. Yes, Draco, Voldemort is dead, but these things all lead us to think that there's a possibility that Voldemort, or some trace of Voldemort, might be back. This gets a reaction. Harry. Now, this is difficult, but we have to ask it to rule it out. Those of you with the dark mark, have you felt anything, even a twinge? Draco, back to being prejudiced against those with a dark mark, are we, Potter? Hermione. No, Draco, Harry is simply trying to... Draco, you know what this is about. Harry just wants his face back in the newspapers again. We've had rumors of Voldemort coming back from the Daily Prophet once a year every year. Harry, none of those rumors came from me. Draco, really? Doesn't your wife edit the Daily Prophet? Ginny steps towards him, outraged. Ginny, the sports pages! Hermione. Draco, Harry brought this matter to the attention of the Ministry, and I, as Minister for Magic... Draco. A vote you only won because you are his friend. Ron is held back by Ginny as he charges at Draco. Ron. Do you want a smack in the mouth? Draco. Face it, his celebrity impacts upon you all. And how better to get everyone whispering the Potter name again than with... He does an impression of Harry. My scar is hurting. My scar is hurting. And do you know what this all means? The gossip mongers once again have had an opportunity to defame my son with these ridiculous rumors about his parentage. Harry. Draco, no one is saying this has anything to do with Scorpius. Draco. Well, I for one think this meeting is a sham, and I'm leaving. He walks out. Others start to disperse after him. Hermione. No, that's not the way. Come back. We need strategy. Act 1, Scene 13. St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. This is chaos. This is magic. This is St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards, and it is as wonderful as you might hope. Walker frames are conjured into life, knitting wool is enchanted into chaos, and male nurses are made to dance tango. These are people relieved of the burden of having to do magic for a reason. Instead, these witches and wizards do magic for fun, and what fun they have. Albus and Scorpius enter, looking around themselves, amused, and let's face it, slightly scared. Albus and Scorpius. Excuse me. Scorpius. Okay, so this place is wild. Albus. We're looking for Amos Diggory. There's suddenly total silence. Everything is instantly still and slightly depressed. War Woman. And what would you boys want with that miserable old sod? Delphi appears with a smile. Delphi. Albus! Albus, you came! How wonderful! Come and say hello to Amos! Act 1, Scene 14. St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. Amos's room. Amos looks at Scorpius and Albus, irritated. Delphi watches the three of them. Amos. So let me get this straight. You overhear a conversation which was not meant for you to overhear, and you decide without prompting, in fact, without leave, to interfere hard in someone else's business. Albus. My father lied to you. I know he did. They do have a time turner. Amos. Of course they do. You can move along now. Albus. What? No, we're here to help. Amos. Help? What use could a pair of undersized teenagers be for me? Albus. My father proved you don't have to be a grown-up to change the wizarding world. Amos. So I should allow you to get involved because you're a Potter, relying on your famous name, are you? Albus. No. Amos. A Potter who is in Slytherin house. Yes, I've read about you. And who brings a Malfoy with him to visit me? A Malfoy who may be a Voldemort? Who's to say you're not involved in dark magic? Albus. But, Amos, your information was obvious, but the confirmation is useful. Your father did lie. Now leave, the pair of you. Stop wasting my time. Albus with power and strength. No, you need to listen to me. You said it yourself. How much blood is in my father's hands? Let me help you change that. Let me help correct one of his mistakes. Trust me. Amos, his voice raised. Did you not hear me, boy? I see no reason to trust you. So go now before I make you leave. He raises his wand ominously. Albus looks at the wand. He deflates. Amos has crushed him. Scorpius. Come on, mate. If there's one thing we're good at, it's knowing where we're not wanted. Albus is reluctant to leave. Scorpius pulls him by the arm. He turns and they walk away. Delphi. I can think of one reason why you should trust them, Uncle. They stop. They're the only ones volunteering to help. They're prepared to bravely put themselves at risk to return your son to your side. In fact, I'm pretty sure they put themselves at risk even getting here. Amos. This is Cedric we're talking about. Delphi. And didn't you say yourself having someone inside Hogwarts might be a massive advantage? Delphi kisses the top of Amos's head. Amos looks at Delphi and then turns to look at the boys. Amos. Why? Why do you want to put yourself at risk? What's in it for you? Albus. I know what it's like to be the spare. Your son didn't deserve to be killed, Mr. Diggory. We can help you get him back. Amos finally showing emotion. My son. My son was the best thing that ever happened to me, and you're right. It was an injustice, a gross injustice. If you're serious. Albus. We're deadly serious. Amos. This is going to be dangerous. Albus. We know. Scorpius. Do we? Amos. Delphi. Delphi. Perhaps if you were prepared to accompany them. Delphi. If that would make you happy, Uncle. She smiles at Albus. He smiles back. Amos. You do understand even getting the time turner will risk your lives. Albus. We're ready to put our lives at risk. Scorpius. Are we? Amos. I hope you have it in you. Okay, and that's where I'm going to stop for today. Does this thing have chapters?